Peace and blessings. Namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is still I, Sophie, today, and it is Scorpio season. Yes. And this Scorpio season is going to be very, very unique. All right? Because this Scorpio season is about exposing, it's about retribution, it's deeply emotional. So it's designed to dig up every little dirt that you still have, all right? And I am excited about this process, number one, because I am a Scorpio, true and true. But number two, the more that I see that is hidden within, the more I get to clean, okay? So this should be exciting for you, all right? Get past the fact that I'm going to be exposed or something is going to, that I've been hiding might be exposed. You need this type of exposure in order for you to make it to the next evolution, all right? So Scorpio season, I have a special transmission for you today. We will be going over some chakras. We will be going over some deadly sins that are associated with these chakras. We'll be dealing with how to clean up ourselves, as Scorpios, our energy, how intense it is, and what we need to do to get from one phase of evolution to the highest phase of evolution. All right. So to begin this, I want to say this. Thank you, Divine Feminine. All right. Especially if you're a Divine Feminine Scorpio and you have exercised a lot of restraint in the past couple of years, that means that you are elevating beautifully because you know how our nature is, okay? So if you have been able to rise above the pettiness, you are on your way, okay, to your highest phase of evolution. So what are these three phases of evolutions that Scorpios uniquely go through, okay? Number one is the scorpion, okay? That's the lowest vibrational state. Number two is going to be the ego. That is the middle state, okay? When you started transmuting some of your energy and you're starting to soar. But the third and final transformation is the phoenix, okay? Whether it's the dark phoenix or the light phoenix, it's up to you, all right? Understand that every free will decision that you make has a consequence behind it. There are universal laws that will never be removed, all right? Because they keep the universe in its perpetual balance. So if you want to get out of this journey karma free, then let me explain some of these concepts and we can spend together the Scorpio season ridding ourselves of everything that does not serve our highest purpose. Okay, so what is the nature of the base level Scorpio? Scorpios, you, especially if you're Scorpio women, the base level Scorpio can be very, very powerful, but not in the right polarity. See, Scorpios, we have a natural affiliation with the dark, okay? Most of Scorpios already entered in as very intuitive, very empathic, all right? You have to be careful of what you speak. Scorpios are master manifestors, all right? The low vibrational Scorpio can very easily take revenge on a situation. And because they have somewhat of a vindictive nature, the revenge that is taken from a low vibrational Scorpio is devastating. See, they don't take revenge to just say, ha, got you back. See, they try to destroy your entire life, okay? And a low vibrational Scorpio can get into that vein very, very easy. Okay, you ever heard of the term, you ever want to know what the truth is? Ask the Scorpio. That is true. So watch your mouth, okay? We like to speak the truth in a very blunt manner. And sometimes it doesn't go over too well because we can come across as cold, okay? And it's not that you're cold, you're just matter of fact, all right? So a lot of Scorpio women have to work on their softer nature. All right, when they're coming across, you have to start working on that more motherly portion of you. Scorpio women tend to have a lot of testosterone. Okay, we balance our masculine traits beautifully. All right, so you are very logical. Okay, you are analytical. But if you don't learn how to balance the emotional state that you are in, you can come across as very selfish, possessive, jealous. Okay, that's a lower vibrational Scorpio, right? the one thing that we are, even the lower vibrational Scorpio are, is very, very big in loyalty. Very big in loyalty. We are loyal signs. Okay, so when we're with somebody, we want to be with them. If we have friends and family, we protect them. Okay, what happens when a lower vibrational Scorpio gets crossed during this time? Hell. All right, if we give that loyalty, we expect the loyalty back. Okay, with us, because we have a way of looking at things. Never, 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 ever pledge your loyalty to someone who is disloyal to you. Okay, so a lower vibrational Scorpio can become very spiteful very easy. All right, so that's some of the things that we want to work on during this season. Number one, stop getting revenge on people. You don't have to do that. Number two, stay away from petty. Yeah, you can be just as petty, and your tongue is a double-edged sword. So when you cut deep. Okay, so curb back on your speech and how you talk to people. Learn your softer side and your softer nature. Another thing that a lower vibrational Scorpio, when you're in that Scorpio state, is we're very sexual. Okay, you're a very highly sexual sign. All right, very sensual, you know. So be careful with your lust. Be careful with your lust, and be very, very careful about who you are giving your love to, Scorpio. We have a lower vibrational Scorpio have the ability to control through sex. All right? You know it because you know how powerful your sexual energy is. All right? It's a driving force. All right? And be careful with who it is that you are sharing this with, because people become obsessive with you. Okay? Once they taste you, once they smell you, once they feel you and your energy, they become obsessive. You know this, and you use this to your advantage. All right? To control and manipulate men. Get out of that. Get out of that. You know, we did that in the 20s. All right? So we're growing up, we're maturing now, and we're trying to get to the ego. Okay? The ego is the middle ground. This is when you're learning how to balance these polarities. All right? So this is when you're making more conscious decisions now. You still might have a little bit of vindictive or jealousy or spiteful and possessiveness, but you're learning how to let go. You're learning to hold your tongue, okay? And start to see things from somebody else's point of view, okay? A lot of Scorpios can be very, very stubborn. You know, my way or the highway. Yeah, I know that. I know that, my way or the highway. But when you get into your ego form, you start to have the ability to want to see things from other perspectives. All right, so you take a step back, and now you start putting yourself in their shoes, and you're trying to understand them so that you don't hurt them. Once you went through the Scorpio phase, you should already have the ability to identify with pain and suffering and hurt. So by the time you get to the ego phase, you are understanding and empathizing with what it is that you might be doing to others, okay? So you also, by the time you get to your ego phase, understand how powerful your karma is, all right? So the ego phase is when you start to really understand that what you speak manifests, okay? What your intentions are, they manifest. The Scorpio mind is broad, okay? But it can go dark, and it can go to the highest light too. It just depends on where you are emotionally, and that's where I'm going to help you understand these things. So don't use your sex as a weapon, okay? I know you're sensual and you love that, you know. We have a sensuality nature that is a little bit different. It's not directly associated with sex all the time, okay? It's about the senses, you know. Scorpio women love things that feel good, smell good. You know what I mean? So yeah, I keep my scars from Bangladesh, but that's because I'm supporting the women over there, okay? But we like things that smell good, feel good, senses, taste, you know, all of that stuff. By the time you're getting to the ego, you need to have the ability to separate these things of what type of love you're going to give to somebody that you really love versus everybody. Do you understand? By the time you start getting into your ego phase, you're going to understand and start learning that everybody that says is there for you are not. You will keep your distance. You will start to keep your distance. The people who love you will be drawn to you like a moth to the flame. And the people that hate you are going to be repulsed by you. Okay? So we rarely have a middle ground. You either love us or you hate us. And even when we're viewing certain things, okay? Scorpio nature in its basis, we either love you or we hate you. The ego phase, we love you or we can tolerate you. But we start to get out of that hate frequency, okay? Because we realize that there is no point in hating. It's not going to change anything, right? Then the highest phase is that you want to get to is called your Phoenix phase. The Phoenix phase is when you go through the huge transformation and all of that old nature of yours is purged from you, okay? You still keep the strength. You still keep the power, but you're not looking at people and situations the exact same way. The things that you would rush to get revenge on or argue with, now you start to see it's not a waste of your time. You start to evolve spiritually, okay, mentally, emotionally, okay? You are in complete and total control of what you're going to do, what you will allow, and what you will not allow, all right? And the Phoenix phase of the Scorpio is beautiful because it is the highest phase in connection with the divine. See, with the Scorpio nature, just as the amount of distance that you can go dark is the amount that you can ascend, okay? And since Scorpio natures can be very, very, very dark, guess how much light you can be too, okay? So we want that transformation energy. We want this to take place during Scorpio season, all right? So how I'm going to help you understand these things is we're going to do East meets West, all right? East meets West. I'm going to deal with the 7 deadly sins and your chakras, all right? Now, we're not going to tackle this in the way that the church does, all right? Because what they branded as 7 deadly sins is not so much about a sin, all right? As it is a mentality, a frequency, and a lifestyle choice, okay? You have the ability to create your heaven or your hell by the way that you are perceiving your life, all right? It's all about perception, all right? So if you're in a certain state of mind, you will realize that everything around you will reflect that exact state of mind that you have gotten yourself in, all right? So let's start it off. Okay. Let's start with the root chakra, all right? This is what we want to meditate on and cleanse during this season. Root chakra, foundation, identity, stability, okay? This is your basic, and this typically takes place from ages 0 to 7, all right? So understand when you're raising your children that you're setting a foundation for them. You're setting a foundation for them, okay? You're setting their security as parents, okay? If you're adopting or you have family members or people that are around you, you know, or little kids that you're babysitting, this is when you want to start really speaking into their life, okay? You want to ask questions like what it is that you want to be when you grow up and things of that nature, all right? This is a foundation, okay? And this is a healthy foundation. But what is it, does it represent in its opposite polarity? Greed, okay? Now, this is a lifestyle I am telling you about, not a specific sin, all right? So if your foundation is faulty, okay? If you're growing up and you feel like you have lack in something, whether it was emotional, okay, financial, or just feeling insecure, chances are, if you don't get that under control, you're going to bounce to the other polarity, and that will manifest itself in greed. I didn't have, and now I want, okay? The issue with greed, and why I said it's not a sin, it's a lifestyle, is because once you start plummeting into that psychology, Nothing is ever enough for you. You will always want. You're never satisfied, okay? And you can't heal yourself with outside things. You have to heal from within. So, if your root, your stability was faulty, and you felt like you experienced any type of lack, what ends up happening is in your adult life, you start to want whatever it is that you felt like you were denied. And you continually try to build upon that. All right? So, root chakra work, go back into your foundation and reset. Tell yourself and remind yourself that you have everything that you need and you are okay. All right? You have everything you need. You want for nothing. The universe provides for me. You are well and you are balanced. All right? The second one is the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra deals with sexuality, pleasure, creativity. This typically happens or starts awakening around the ages of 7 and 14. And this is the time that we're supposed to be cultivating and nurturing those ages. You preteens and teens are so hormonally imbalanced. But so are a lot of adults. All right? So, what is your sacral chakra? What happens when it's closed? Not healthy. You get this opposite polarity of lust. All right? Lust. Some people who are so hurt or have not healed, they don't know how to love. They don't know how to love. They don't know how to give love, nor do they know how to receive love. So the expression of love is through sex, okay, or lust, needing to feel something physically as an outward expression of what's lacking emotionally or inwardly, okay? So we get into this, I desire, okay? Pornography addictions happen during this time, perversion, sexual perversions, okay? Not realizing that this is an energetic exchange, bringing on more of someone else's essence or energy into your body until you no longer can even recognize yourself. The sacral chakra plagues more adults than anything else, because we're all longing for that perfect, divine, unconditional love. And when we don't have it, we use it as a substitute. And this becomes your lifestyle, okay? And you become insatiable, all right? You start making decisions based off of physical pleasure. And you want to continue to have it. It feeds something false in you, all right? Clean that part up. Lust is not love, all right? Addictions harm you sexually. It robs you from the deep levels of intimacy that you need to have with your partner, all right? So work on that. Work on the sacral chakra and saying, I am worthy of unconditional love. I give as much as I receive. My temple, my body is my temple, and I'm cleaning and purging all energies from it that has nothing to do with my highest purpose, all right? Focus. Start telling yourself, sex is not the problem. I am. All right? Now, third one, solar plexus. Deals with your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence, your ego, typically around ages 14 to 21. Sin, glutton. All right, what happens between ages of 14 and 21? Oh my God. This is when you're going through middle school and high school. You're trying to find yourself. You're trying to fit in, okay? You have popular kids. You're not really popular. Say you're awkward. You say you're awkward, or, something goes on, but it messes with your self-worth, your self-identity, what you see, okay? Now, if you're very I don't know, self-conscious. If you're very self-conscious, this can easily go into glutton. All right. Now, this glutton is an over excess of food, drink, or devices. Why do we go through this? Because we want to feel good. We want to also fit in. All right. This happens during this time because this is one of the most vulnerable times of your life. This is when you're out in society. This is where people get to actually formulate opinions on you. All right. They formulate opinions on you. And if you're not strong enough to know yourself, a lot of things that people are projecting on you, you will receive. And so what you end up doing is going along with the fray, over excessive, overindulging, trying to fit in with the crowds, trying to make yourself feel good. You know, people that drink, they numb themselves. If you continually allow others to label you or identify you, then you're allowing others to control you, okay? And it will give you a warped sense of self-love and self-identity. And you will end up in patterns of gluttony. And this is something that people have a hard time breaking to. These are addictions, okay? Just trying to feel good, or being overweight, excessive eating, excessive drinking, excessive drugs. All right, this season, you need to work on saying, I am enough and in complete control. I am complete within myself and within the divine. I don't need these things anymore. They don't serve my highest purpose, and they're also lowering my frequency and vibration. Meditate on those two. You also have the heart chakra. Heart chakras. Love, compassion, empathy. You start waking up to this typically between the ages of 21 and 28. All right? Because this is in your 20s, you're kind of young, you're kind of naive, you know, you have this very skewed view of life where you're the victim most of the time. So you start to deep reflect. You start to deep reflect when you start getting in your older, and you're starting to forgive, all right? You want to forgive those who hurt you. This is when you start saying, I want to rebuild my relationship with my mother or my father, or something that hurts, and your heart starts to open up and you start to see people for exactly who they are, okay? And you can have the ability to make the choice to love them or not, but in its negative polarity, wrath, all right? Wrathfulness, unforgiveness, guilt, shame, okay? Vengeful. The heart chakra causes us the most pain in our walks, okay? Because you don't understand how powerful the spirit of forgiveness is and how powerful love is. There's a reason why it says love cleanses or cleanses a multitude of sins. All right? Because once you start loving yourself again, then you can start loving others. Okay? And then you protect your mind, body, and soul from invasions. All right? But the heart chakra that is not balanced or closed will bring about a wrathful nature. And you will create this hell for yourself. All right? My job is to try to keep you out of it. Okay, throat chakra, expression, communication, truth, also creativity, right? So you have people that write, that speak, that paint, all right? The throat chakra, when this is blocked, all of this is blocked, okay? Your creativity, your truth telling, okay? Your communication is all off, and in its negative polarity, it is slothfulness. All right? Slothfulness. What happens when your throat chakra is blocked? Laziness, depression. You don't move. You don't create. You don't use the talents and the gifts that God gave you to generate wealth, okay? Or to teach or to heal. Okay, and that right there my beloveds, is a stench in the Creator's nose, because you were created to do a certain work and you had all of the tools to do that work. All right? But if you get into a slothfulness, you won't move, you won't grow, you won't fulfill your contract. And you end up fighting against yourself, because the inner self knows that it wants to express. But the slothful nature says, what difference does it make? Get out of that energy too, okay? So if you need to work on that during Scorpio season, you need to say to yourself, oh wow, I've been blessed with so much gifts and talents. Now it's time for me to use it. Hello world, here I am, okay? Love me or hate me, it's up to you. It's your free will, but here I am. And start using your talents again. Start expressing, start speaking truth, and let the chips fall where they may. No one said that everybody had to love you, okay? When you start developing into your spiritual maturity, you realize that that's a part of you that you can no longer control, and therefore you stop caring, all right? Either people are going to see you for who you are, or they're not. You cannot ever control someone else's perspective of you. You can only control you, all right? And what you need to do, Scorpios, is get that creativity going. Write that book that you've been sitting on for a long time. Start getting on that, okay? If it was given to you, write it. And I know you're listening. I know you're listening, and you know exactly who you are. Start writing. Stop this mess. Shame on you. Okay, now, all right. The third eye chakra, okay. Intuition, imagination, gnosis, heightened awareness. All right, this typically starts happening 35 and 42. Now understand that when I am giving you these age ranges, these are the 7 cycles of development that I am aligning with the 7 chakras, that I'm also aligning with the 7 deadly sins, because they all are interconnected. But I don't want you to think that these age ranges are definite, because there are some of you who incarnated here that are a lot faster. Okay, you may have matured a lot faster. You may have went through these phases earlier, and there are others of you who may be going through these phases late. Do not feel ashamed if you're behind the learning curve, okay? There's a reason for that as well, all right? You have to trust the universe. So if you missed an age range and you're just coming into it now, that's fine. Maybe it's this season that you're mature enough to handle the rest of it, all right? So don't beat yourself up, and don't think that these ages are definite, all right? But the sin, okay, or the lifestyle that can come associated with the third eye chakra being open or imbalanced is pride. Pride comes before the fall, all right? So now we know things. We're starting to expand. We're starting to see without seeing, okay? And when that happens, it makes you feel really, really good. It makes you feel powerful, all right? Because you understand how things work, that maybe things that other people don't understand, all right? Be careful with that. Be careful with that. And always keep your levels of humility, because no one person is ever going to know it all, right? And even the things that you think you do know, later on in life, you will find out that that's going to evolve and change too. And you can be very steadfast in your belief today. And by next Monday, you're saying to yourself, that was wrong. I just learned the higher truth. Okay? So when we become prideful, sometimes we close off. I alone know what I'm talking about, and I can't hear and receive from somebody else. Okay? And then what ends up happening? You don't grow. You don't evolve. You refuse to submit to a higher truth. So you say in stagnant energy. When what did we say that energy that doesn't grow and move, what happens to it? It's death. Okay? It's death. So when we're working on our third eye, a chakra, you want to balance this out and say, hey, divine, Thank you for allowing me access. And we understand that we are intuitive and expansive, but I need help in being in my right alignment. What do I do with this gift? And I am open and willing to receive higher truths when they are presented to me so that I can always grow. All right? And I am humble enough to know that even with the things that I know, I don't know it all. Okay? We're all learning, right? I'm still discovering myself. I share with y'all a lot of videos of my foo-bars and blunders. So it's not going to stop. I'm still going to have foo-bars and blunders. I'm a work in process. What can I say? All right. So that's what we focus on in Scorpio season. Get that together. All right? Now, crown chakra. The butterfly happens age 42 to 49. This is when you're reaching spiritual maturity. You have learned from all the mistakes that you made in your past. Okay? You have went through the process of clearing out all of your karma. You realize I am not equipped to be this stupid. All right? So now you start to really identify with yourself, right? This is when your enlightenment happens. This is when you receive your crowns. All right? So what happens? What happens when this is in its negative polarity? Envy. Envy. You become aware of others. You become aware of others' abilities, their positioning, okay? You also become highly intelligent, and you start to have the mentality that I deserve what this person has. I'm enlightened. I'm awake. I deserve to be honored. I deserve to be followed. I deserve to be admired, right? And when you see that happening to someone else, it starts to eat you up inside, okay? Why? Because you are the one who is enlightened. So why is somebody else getting the blessings that you think you deserve? This is where your state of competition start to enter in, all right? Let me explain something to you, family, like family. There is no point in competing with anything or anyone. We are all wonderfully and uniquely made, okay? And there's always going to be things that somebody else can do that you can't, all right? And if it's a physical thing, stop competing with beauty. Be your own standard of beauty. People will see you. See, beauty comes from inside out, all right? So we don't deal with those type of things when we become enlightened, all right? Because the more you know, the more you see, the more you start to understand, and then the more you see others, and you don't like the fact that they are living a certain lifestyle, and you don't feel that they deserve the lifestyle that they're living. So you become envious. Work on this, okay? Work on your crown, your intelligence, your connection, your enlightenment. And when you see things, when you become enlightened, and you see things that you see or you feel is unfair or unjust, take your hands off of it. Don't be envious of anyone else. There's only one you. No one's going to take that place. No one can take that place. Okay? So you don't have to compete with anyone. If you do want to compete with somebody, compete with yourself so that you better yourself every single year. Scorpio season, all of these things are going to be exposed. And it's designed to heal you. So don't be upset about it, all right? These are the things that I wanted to share with you today, because we are moving so quickly. We are moving so quickly to our new age and earth and everything that we want to see manifested. Scorpios, you are a powerful force to be reckoned with. You must transmute the energy and balance this, okay? Because the Scorpio nature can get you in some dark trouble. Curb the sexuality. Yeah. Curb it. Reserve your love for the one that loves you. Okay? Get out of the pride, greed, envy, lust, glutton, all of the things that you feel is completing you, and do the work to heal yourself and understand that you're already complete. This season is amazing. And I love Scorpio energy. So that's all I have to say and share with you today. I am Sophie, and I love you all.